Okay, having said all of this, let's look at Carl Jung's contribution to personality psychology. First of all, there was some criticism of his theory because there was a lack of inner logic to what he described in his theory. So pretty scattered, even though each component is highly insightful, and there was no way to test his theoretical concepts under experimental conditions, even though we all think it is theoretically meaningful and sensible, plausible. And there was a lack of empirical evidence to what he described in his type theory. It remains very much as a hypothetical model for personality classification. But we have to credit Carl Jung's contribution to personality psychology because of his distinction of extroversion and introversion is widely accepted in psychology, and his identification of the four basic functions, thinking, feeling, sensing, and intuiting, paved the way for later development of various personality types. Later on, psychologists like Hans Eysenck and Roman Patel have substantially improved and built upon Carl's own type theories to develop a more coherent and even scientific theory of personality. I want you to keep this in mind, the wisdom from Jungian psychology. Everyone should hold up and stand up for his or her own theoretical and spiritual principles and stance, even though this means some hard time for the people you break up with. Okay? Everyone should endure his or her solitary moments or years of self-doubt and under-doubt to develop your own theory or to stand up to your own thinking. And everyone should learn to strive for and wait for the eventual and ultimate moment of truth-finding and a triumph. And this is exactly what Carl Jung eventually got. That after he broke up with Freud, even though he initially lost the cycle of friends, but eventually a lot of people became attracted by him and follow him closely to make him a comparable figure in the psychodynamic movement. And finally, everyone is his or her own master of personality development and personality refinement. Let's have a quote from Carl Jung. "A healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers." And here is the Chinese translation. 健康的人是不会折磨他人的。一般说来，那些被折磨的人才会去折磨他人的。大家记住这句话。Keep this in mind. And I want to show you my visit to Carl Jung's house, his own home, in 2014. And I want to show you my visit to Carl Jung's house in Zurich in 2014. And this is the photo taken in front of his house. And this is the photo taken in his couch. I feel extremely honored and empowered to sit on the couch, the sofa that Carl Jung sat for many years. And this is the Hong Kong Analytical Society. We have a Jungian study group. We would meet regularly to study his red book and to get his wisdom from the red book of self-transcendence and self-transformation. Finally, I want to introduce Professor Jung to you because he's the best Jungian psychologist in China, and he got a lot of training. And if you want to study more, you can study his theory and read his books. Myself even got a training from Jungian psychology, and this is one of the certificates I got from attending the training. Okay, having said all of this, we talk about the two most important critiques of Freud theory. They all started with their own breakup with Freud and went on to develop their own theory solidly. And they all suffered a lot from this process, but eventually thrived a lot in the eventual triumph. They help us to change the primitive, negative side of Freud psychoanalytic theory to more healthy, more socially acceptable theories of personality development. And having said all of this, I thank you for attending this lecture. That is all for today. Thank you.